Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is HD StarCraft, and I'm here to bring you guys a professional level StarCraft 2 game. Today we're going to be bringing a semi-final games from the Red Bull Battlegrounds featuring SK's MC as the blue Protoss at the top left, and his opponent is going to be Millennium Stephano at the bottom right. So it's going to be a Protoss versus Zerg, and before the match gets underway, just wanted to get it out there one more time. I do apologize. The last set I casted, it was out of order. It was actually the grand finals of this tournament that I'm casting right now, and it was the grand finals. It was out of order. It only had 3 games out of the 7. It was all kind of bojangled up in so many ways, and the reason for that was because I pulled the replays off the website. I didn't bother to look deeper and to see what the games were at that moment in time. So I do apologize, but I did do my research for this one, and it is SKMC versus Stephano from the semifinal. It is going to be a best of 5, and this should be pretty interesting. These two players extremely talented. Do I need to say more? We'll see what happens. It is Ohana, by the way, the first game of the set. And MC coming in here with his scouting probe, immediately trying to figure out what's going on inside the Zerg base. Top level, world-class Zerg player here in Stephano. Literally world. I mean, because, you say Koreans, but Koreans usually don't, well, they have been competing a lot more in outside tournaments. So when I say world class, I guess it can include Koreans as well. But Stephano kind of known to be the guy outside of the mecca of StarCraft, that is South Korea, and he's been just doing a phenomenal job. We'll see if MC can take him down. MC also a Korean in himself, so he is going to be facing off against Stephano, and we'll just have to see what happens. Speaking of which, when I mentioned foreigners, this weekend we are going to have MLG at Anaheim, and it should be pretty exciting. I will not be there, but it's going to be one of the biggest MLGs to date because there are going to be Koreans from Brood War competing there. Rumor has it we're going to have Jaedong, Flash, Bisu, all the top pros from Brood War who have actually been playing in the Pro League for StarCraft 2 lately, and they are going to be making a cameo appearance at MLG. Should be very, very exciting. Unfortunately, I won't be there, but I will be watching it and rooting for my favorite players, of course. Jaedong, Bisu, Flash, all those good old traditional StarCraft 1 guys. Also, on a quick other side note, I have been playing Diablo 3, still doing hardcore. Have not done my hardcore journal 2 yet. We'll do it soon, and that's the end of that. We'll see what happens in this game. MC walling off at the front door with the Forge Gateway combination after the Nexus. Overlord will fly over there and get full detail on that and report back home. Typically, when Protoss do Nexus first, Zerg's first response is to get a third hatchery immediately. We can see Stephano already bringing his drone over to the third, and we'll be getting that hatchery down right away. Stephano, the player who loves to use that mass roach strategy, to my knowledge, hasn't really changed that much since, well, pretty much last year when he first introduced it at IPL 3 in October, and we'll see if he continues to go down that path. Of course, the third hatchery is very safe here because he saw the Nexus first, pretty much can eliminate the possibility of any attack happening within the next 2 or 3 minutes. Likewise, though, Zerg does have an attack avenue. They can go right through these rocks and bust through. LOL is online. I'm going to have to go ahead and set myself to busy. Apologize. One of my D3 friends. And as I was saying, you can bust through these side rocks as Zerg, and what MC needs to do is scout the third hatchery. There it is. So he sends in the probe, confirms the hatchery is coming up, and now he can kind of feel a little bit more safe about being attacked through that backside. Getting hit through the back door is not a pleasant thing. And so this map obviously has that feature in terrain, and you have to be very careful about that. Probe now going to try to run back home. Zergling's hot in pursuit. Looks like the probe did lose some of its shields, but it will be regenerated as it makes its way back inside the base. And let's see here. It looks like Stephano just kind of droning up here as we would expect, starting to get the gas down right now. And typically what Zerg wants to do, if you're going to follow that kind of Stephano Roach style, is to get the gases around this time, 6 minutes, 30 seconds. I would say Stephano gets them a little bit earlier this game. If you guys are paying attention to the timer, it's actually, he started them at 6 minutes, so he's going to have a bit earlier gas, and we'll see what that translates into as the Zerglings are chasing this probe. Once again, MC just doing a very good job of, sending the probes across the map. Oh, look at this. We have a lot of gateways coming up from MC. Oh, wow. Maybe just doesn't feel comfortable playing the macro game against Stephano. Maybe he just feels like this hatchery, the Zerg obviously going to be joining up here. It's Stephano. I mean, come on. And he, the max roach style, you don't start seeing roaches until around 8 minutes, maybe 9 actually. It actually starts pretty late. Your whole maxed out period is actually the window between, I would say, 8 to 9 to 11 and 12. And so you're not going to see roaches, and MC might have a huge timing attack on his hands here. Zerglings are beginning to come out though. He needs the Warp Gate technology to finish. It is being researched. Pylon's coming down on the offensive here, and the Overlord has scouted it. So now Stephano's got to know by the placement of the pylons, by the Stalker and the Zealot, completely on in an offensive posture. He's got to know that this is coming, and right now is his time to produce a lot of Zerglings and Roaches. MC beginning to warp in Stalkers and Zealots in mass. He's on the high ground, gonna go down to the low ground now, encroaching on the creep. Zerglings are here, but the speed has not finished yet. Stephano could be in trouble. He never took the liberty of breaking down the rocks, and that is terrible for him. He cannot reinforce the short way. Yes, he'll go the long cut, and because of that, the hatchery might fall here, and Stephano getting completely caught off guard. Units will continue to warp in 8 at a time. I believe MC has 8 gates. Let's just check one more time. It is actually 7. So he's can warp in 7 units at a time. Then I don't think Stephano's got enough units to deal with this. And, you know, every engagement here, he's not killing off any units. He's losing units, and the longer he takes, some more Protoss forces warp on the field. MC in a dominant position right now, completely eradicating the roaches. Quinn gets pulled back at the right time, but MC has so many Zealots and Stalkers inside the mineral line now. The Zerglings are just getting wasted, as are the roaches following suit, and now Stephano has to sound the horns, the sirens, and evacuate the base. He's going to leave it now, and the hatchery will have to fall into enemy hands. MC, fantastic attack, really good timing, and really, I don't think Stephano was prepared for it. He did not scout the main base, it seems like, in time. And it's such a tricky thing to really scout. I mean, when a Protoss player goes for this kind of mass gateway style, you know, a gateway takes about a minute or so to build. And you have to send that Overlord in at that timing window. If you don't see those gateways coming up during that timing window, you really don't know what's happening. And there are 2 places you have to check. You have to check the natural and the main, because those gateways can really come up at either place. So MC really just hitting that perfect sweet spot before Stephano could realize mass roaches. And, yeah, well, he obliterated Stephano quite handily. So we'll see what happens in game 2. That was really fast. Did he have +1 weapons? No, he did not. And, you know, I've been doing this little quick analyzation. Here's the one key point I just want to point out one more time, is that window of opportunity that you get as if you're playing Protoss and the Zerg is using this, you know, macro style. There it is right here. As soon as the gateways start, it is 6 minutes and 15 seconds. And this timing window from the when the gateways start to warp, the earlier you can scout this out, the better. And unfortunately, there weren't any Overlords in range, and so it was completely in the dark. And MC just, you know, the longer this takes, that it goes unscouted, the better position MC really is in, because there are no units in time to defend against this. If Stephano had scouted it, he could have built spine crawlers. That's actually what he needs to do. There's really no way to rush roaches and Zerglings based on the building positioning, based on the timing of the buildings he already had. So that's what happened in game 1. We'll have to see what happens in game 2. Hope you guys stay tuned, and this is HD signing out.